Hello, everyone. Keith back here making my NFL Week 4 predictions and a little bit of a Week 3 recap, which I'm going to brag here for a second. I don't get a lot of views on my channel. I don't get a lot of people watch, but damn, I'm good. I went 14-2 straight up last week. 14-2. The only two games I got wrong were Kansas City and the Chargers and Cincinnati and the Steelers. Those were the only two games that I ended up getting incorrect. Every other game, every 50-50, every guarantee, every single game, I got correct, except those two. So, fantastic. I called the upsets. I got everything. And I think my overall record up to this point, let me think here. What's my overall record? I'll get into that later. But for now, we'll get into NFL Week 4 picks. NFL Week 4. Start with the Thursday night game, which is actually tonight. And we got the Jaguars at the Bengals. No hesitation. Pick Cincinnati. Until the Jacksonville Jaguars can win the game, just pick against Jacksonville. They have lost, I believe it's 17 straight games now. Their last win was in Week 1 last year. They've lost every single game since. Pick against Cincinnati until you can't anymore. Until they actually prove to you they can win. So go with the Bengals here. We'll go 31-20. They're just not a good football team, the Jaguars are. Cincinnati's starting to find their groove, though. That was an impressive showing against the Steelers. Man, what happened to that team, the Steelers? We'll get into them later. So go ahead and pick Cincinnati here. Next up, we have the Chiefs at the Eagles. Again, no hesitation. Go ahead and pick the Chiefs. Philadelphia, Week 1 was a complete anomaly. There's no way the Eagles' offense is that good. Because now they've been blown out in back-to-back games. In Kansas City, they've played close games, but this is the first game on their schedule where they should win this game with ease. And they should get to 2-2. They're not losing 3 straight games with Mahomes at quarterback. So go ahead and pick Kansas City straight up. By a score of 34-13. Next game, Tennessee at the Jets. Again, pick Tennessee here. Now, they could be without their top 2 wideouts, Julio and AJ, but they're both questionable to play. And I'm a big Titans fan, so I would err on the side of caution. This is the Jets. Let this team self-destruct. You can sit Julio. You can sit AJ. Your other wide receivers, it's not going to be like the Jets-Browns game last year where, Cleveland couldn't do anything because all their wide receivers were hurt. All of Cleveland's wide receivers were not in that game because of COVID. Tennessee still has their 3rd, their 4th, their 5th wide receivers who are very serviceable and know what they're doing. Chester Rogers, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine won that game against Indianapolis last week. That second half, Tennessee was still moving the ball up and down the field, and they still have a Derrick Henry. So Tennessee should go into the Jets, and they should win this game by a score of 27-13. Giants at Saints. I'm going to pick the Saints here, even though I don't want to. Jameis Winston's going up against the Giants. I know I mentioned something about Jameis being inconsistent, and he had a good game last week. But this is the Giants. Now, the Giants are known for having fourth quarter leads and blowing them. So will the Giants be so lucky in this game? We'll find out. But until then, I'm going to ride with the Saints here. And I'll ride with the Saints by a score of 30-24 over the Giants. This is where the picks start to get difficult. We have Cleveland at Minnesota. The Vikings offense has been shredding teams. Cleveland's defense, I know they played the Bears. Cleveland's defense has improved. See, I struggle with this. This is a game Cleveland should win. The Vikings are what you would call an inferior football team. The only problem is Minnesota's not a slouch. They are a couple of plays away from being 3-0. So you have to treat it as such. You can't just look at the records when you're doing these picks. You can't. It's impossible. Let me see what the masses are saying about this game. Ooh, yeah, it's pretty even. Straight up. You know what? I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to pick Minnesota. I'm going to pick Minnesota to upset Cleveland at home. This is going to be a close game. And I'm going to go ahead with a score of 23-20 over Cleveland. Cleveland's going to be fine. They're going to be fine. This is a game they should win. But they're coming off 2 impressive victories, and now they're going up against a team that's significantly better than the 2 teams that they have just faced. I think the Vikings pull back to 500 here. So we'll go with a close game and a Vikings upset. Next game, we have the Colts at Miami. This is also a 50-50 game. I gotta go with Indy here. I gotta do it. I can't, in good conscience, have this Colts team fall to 0-4 with a game on deck against the Ravens. This is too well coached of a football team to do so. So I think Indy goes in and gets the upset. They're not going up against a fantastic offense. They're not going up against Tennessee's offense. They're not going up against the Rams or the Seahawks offenses. This is Miami's offense now. They should be able to get the ball rolling here a little bit. So go ahead and pick Indianapolis straight up. 27-20 over Miami. Next game, Carolina at Dallas. And unfortunately, I think this is where it ends for Carolina, who started off extremely hot, 3-0. One of our undefeateds fall here. Carolina drops to 3-1. Dallas gets to 3-1. And listen, guys, I said this in my preseason predictions. Listen, I had Dallas going all the way to the NFC Championship game. And I had that happening for a reason. This is a very good Cowboys team. If they can stay healthy, this team is extremely dangerous. And I know you anti-Cowboys fans don't want to hear it. You're hearing it. This is a good football team right now. And they're going up against Carolina. They should win this game. And this is no disrespect to Carolina. I think Dallas should win this game fairly easily. We'll go 28-17 over Carolina. I think Dallas is that good, folks. I really do. Next up, we have Detroit at Chicago. I'm going to pick Detroit here. In an upset. I don't know if you would qualify this as an upset, but I'm going to roll with it. Let's go with Detroit here over the Bears in Chicago. Does the Bears offense scare you? Because it doesn't scare me. I don't know what Andy Dalton's availability for this game is. I almost don't care what it is. Matt Nagy is not... I don't know what he's doing to this offense. He did not prepare Justin Fields last week. Justin Fields was set up to fail, and I feel bad for the kid. Detroit, on the other hand, they are playing hard for their head coach. 3 games, 0-3. One of them, let's be honest, they should have beaten the Ravens last week, if not for a blatantly missed delay of game call. It was blatant, guys. That 0 was there for over a second. Detroit should have won last week. They held a lead against Green Bay, in Green Bay, at halftime. And, by God, they almost stormed all the way back and took out the 49ers. 3 extremely difficult games to start the season, and now they get Chicago. I'm going to go with Detroit here in an upset. 24-17 over the Bears. Okay. Now, we go on to Washington at Atlanta. I got to go with Atlanta to pull even here. Listen, Washington hasn't done anything to make me think that they're a good team. I may have been wrong on Washington. I had Washington going to the divisional round in my way preseason predictions. Like, I did this right after the draft. I may have been wrong on this team. This defense has let me down. I thought this defense was going to be a top 3 unit in the NFL, and they haven't performed as such. Atlanta's offense leaves a lot to be desired. I think Atlanta draws to 2-2 here, and I think they take out Washington by a score of 21-14 over Washington. So that's why I like Atlanta over Washington. Especially, I mean, they're at home too, so. Moving on, we have Houston at Buffalo. Take Buffalo. Please, just do it. You'd be a fool not to pick the Bills. Disgusting performance by the Bills in like a good way. That's intense right there. So, that being said, go ahead and it's not going to really be that close. I really don't think it's going to be that close. Where'd the game go? Oh, there it is. Let's go Buffalo 41-21 over Houston. And we'll give Houston a garbage time touchdown there as well. Buffalo should steamroll this team. Moving on, we go to our 4 o'clock games. Arizona at Los Angeles. 2 3-0 teams going at it, head to head. I love it. This is going to be a good game, a good high-scoring game. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Rams. I'm going to pick the Rams. Arizona, listen, very good team. They'll keep it close. But the Rams' firepower is too much. Too much right now. So the Rams, I'm going to say they win this 33-30 over Arizona. Arizona's a good team. They'll be fine. But the Rams are on a different level right now. Especially after their win last week against Tom Brady, where they harassed him and the game wasn't as close as the score indicates. Next up, we have Seattle at San Francisco. Okay, so San Francisco finally showed me something. They impressed me a little bit against Green Bay. A game that they honestly could have won. Maybe should have won. 37 seconds left on the clock. You would think they had this game wrapped up. But Seattle is playing out of desperation right now. And you know what? I'm going to keep riding this upset train. I'm going to pick Seattle only because I don't see a Pete Carroll-led, Russell Wilson-led Seahawks team dropping to 1-3. That's tough. That's very, very tough. So I'm going to go Seattle here in another upset. We'll go 28-24 over San Francisco. Make sure I picked Seattle in my straight up. Yep, I did. Okay. Now we go on to Baltimore, Denver, and listen, I am picking the Ravens here. Denver, yes, you can only play who's on your schedule. And yes, they've been impressive in their 3 wins. But let's not kid ourselves. The Broncos just finished off the 3 worst teams in the NFL. Literally the 3 worst. It's not 3 of the 4 worst. It's the 3 worst teams in the league the Broncos have beaten. And now they get the Ravens. In an offense like that, I gotta go with Baltimore here, guys. The Broncos need to prove to me that they can play with the big boys. Until then, I'm gonna go with a former MVP, and I'm gonna go with John Harbaugh, and I'm gonna go with the better team, or what I think to be the better team. So I'm gonna pick Baltimore here, 31-21 over Denver. Ooh. Oh, I'll get back to my thought here in a sec. Pittsburgh at Green Bay. Pick the Packers here. The Steelers don't have an offense. They don't. They don't have an offensive line. They don't have anything. Big Ben is a tree. I mean, the Steelers week 1 was a fluke. Pick Green Bay here. This is actually the first time Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger are seeing each other in a game since the Super Bowl, believe it or not. Got to go with the Packers. You got to do it. Pick Green Bay 30-17 over Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay at New England. This is, I believe, the night game. And the only reason it's the night game is because it's a reunion. Let's be honest here. The Buccaneers are going to eat shit on the New England Patriots. The Patriots are going to get slaughtered. It's not going to be close. Tampa's going to win this game 27-10 over New England. This game isn't going to be close, guys. Tampa wins, especially rebounding after a loss. Yeah, against Mac Jones or whoever starts in New England, go Tampa. And now we have the Las Vegas Raiders against the Los Angeles Chargers. Do I have any undefeated teams left? I think it's just the Rams. Let's see. I have Carolina losing. I have Denver losing. I have Arizona losing. Yeah. I gotta pick the Chargers. Do I want to? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. These are 2 very, very good football teams that I could see splitting. And right now, I think the Chargers get the win at home in overtime again against Las Vegas. Go 23-20. Close game. Very good game, a very close game. So that's why I like the Chargers there. And now we go on to my best bets of the week. Let's see here. For one, and I know this is my team, I like the under. Tennessee Jets. I like the under. Reason I like the under is because the Jets, Tennessee's defense, aside from the first 2 games, shockingly has played well. Their third down defense is at 30%. Their red zone scoring defense is outstanding so far. They finished playing 2 extremely high-powered offenses. They got their footing a little bit, and overall, Tennessee has allowed 2 touchdowns in the last 6 quarters. They allowed 6 against the Seahawks in the second half, and then they allowed 15 points against, was it 15? 16. So Tennessee has allowed 22 points in the last 6 quarters. That's impressive, guys. And now they're going up against the Jets, a team that is a proximity for self-destructing. Like I said, this is going to be like a 27-13 type of game. Tennessee's offense is not going to light the scoreboard up unless the defense creates points. And I don't think the defense is there yet. The Jets aren't going to score more than 13 points in this game. Tennessee will put up 24-27 with the absence of Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. I like the under here. Next up, go Kansas City -7. Chiefs -7. If Philly's gotten destroyed in back-to-back games, and Kansas City, they're not happy right now. And I think the Chiefs win this game handily. So that's why I like KC -7. Baltimore. Denver's a 1-point favorite. Hello. Give me the Ravens there. I gotta go Baltimore. Yeah, just money line straight up. Broncos +1, whatever the hell. I mean, prove it to me, Denver. This is where you can prove it to me. That's my third pick. I like the Ravens here. And then last but not least, well, I got two more. Packers money line and Tampa -7. Listen, I know Bill Belichick knows Brady and Gronk. But listen, guys. Okay, Green Bay money line, easy. Buccaneers money line, yes. This is where Tom Brady beats the Patriots. It's too much of a Cinderella story right now. Tom Brady can get his 32nd win. He can break the record for most passing yards by a quarterback in NFL history. Everything is lined up for Tom Brady in this game, and I think Tampa wins by more than 7. So those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys all next time.